సాంద్రుల గుండె చప్పుడు.
హాయ్ హలో నమస్తే. మీరు వింటున్నారు ప్రవాసాంధ్రుల గుండె చప్పుడు తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ రేడియోలో. నేను మీ ఆర్జే సిరి. నాన్ స్టాప్ హంగామాలో ఇవాళ మీ ముందుకు వచ్చింది. ఇవాళ మన నాన్ స్టాప్ హంగామాలో ఒక స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేయబోతున్నాం. ఎవరు అనుకుంటున్నారా? అసలు ఒక మనిషి లైఫ్ లో ఉన్నత స్థానాలు ఎదగాలి అంటే వయసుతో సంబంధం లేదు, అలాంటి ఆలోచనే చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్న ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనందరికి ఇచ్చిన ఒక చిన్న 16 ఏళ్ల 14 సంవత్సరాల వయసున్న ఒక అబ్బాయి ఏం చేశాడు లైఫ్ లో, అప్పుడే ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇచ్చే స్టేజ్కి ఎలా ఎదిగాడు అనే కదా మీరు షాక్ అవుతున్నారు. ఎస్, వయసు చిన్నదైనా సరే తను సాధించింది మాత్రం పెద్దది. చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి కూడా రాయాలని ఒక తపన పెట్టుకొని రాసి దాన్ని పబ్లిష్ చేసి 10 మందితో శభాష్ అనిపించుకొని దానికి ఒక అవార్డు కూడా తెచ్చుకొని ఎంతో మందితో ఓ వావ్ ఇలా ఉంటారా, 14 ఏళ్ల వయసుకి ఇంత సాధించొచ్చా అని అందరినీ అబ్బురపరిచిన అబ్బాయి వైభవ్ నీలా. మరి ఈ వైభవ్ నీలాని ఇవాళ మన తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ వేదిక మీదకి తీసుకొచ్చాం. ఆ అబ్బాయి ఏం చేశాడు, ఎలాంటి బుక్ రాశాడు, ఎంత సక్సెస్ సాధించాడు, అసలు దానికి ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ ఎవరు, ఆ థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎక్కడ మొదలైంది, ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడున్నారు, ఇలాంటి మాటలు ఇలాంటివన్నీ కూడా తన మాటల్లో మనం విందాం ఇవాళ. సో ప్లీజ్ వెల్కమ్ వైభవ్ నీలా టు తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ రేడియో. హాయ్ వైభవ్, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good as well. Thank you very much for having me on Telugu NRI Radio. It is a privilege to be here.
Yes, same here. I'm excited to take your interview because at the age of 14, you achieved something many people don't achieve at the age. So, which is an inspirational thing for many people. So, it's my privilege also to take your interview.
Thank you very much.
So, starting from, just tell me about yourself, like brief about yourself to our audience, so that they'll get to know like who you are and what you do, from where you are, kind of thing.
Some connection issue.
Okay, that's fine. Before you start, Vaibhav, I'll tell the numbers to the audience. ఎవరైతే ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వింటున్నారో ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ మనకి FB లో లైవ్ వస్తుంది, యూట్యూబ్ లో లైవ్ వస్తుంది. అండ్ ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి టు ఎంకరేజ్ దిస్ యంగ్ షాప్ మీరు చేయాల్సిందల్లా ఇండియా నుంచి అయితే 9705222005, యూకే అయితే 1158882005, యుఎస్ అయితే 9197012005, స్కైప్ తెలుగు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ రేడియో. ఇలా మీరు ఏ నెంబర్ కి కాల్ చేసినా కూడా మీరు వైభవ్ తో మాట్లాడే అవకాశం, అతన్ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తూ మాట్లాడొచ్చు, లేదా అతన్ని మీరు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగాలంటే కూడా మీరు అడగొచ్చు. సో యా వైభవ్, కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు యూ.
Yes, so there are a few things I'd like to say about myself. I'd say I'm a person who work a bit hard. You know, I make sure to include that in like all aspects of my life, such as my hobbies, like writing and rowing, which is a sport I do. I always take that philosophy, you know, no hard work goes to waste. I make sure to include that philosophy in whatever I do. Yeah, always making sure whatever I do, I put in the effort, and I get a fruit out of my effort. Yeah.
That's really amazed me, because though people turn 40s 50s also to accept the fact like hard work is the key, there are no shortcut for all these things.
Yeah.
It will take ages to realize somebody to know all these facts. How come you able to explain everything at the age of 14? What like who made you this strong, like who made you so clear on your thoughts, whom you will give it the credit about you?
Well, I would definitely say my dad, who includes this philosophy in his life every day. He always works hard, and I've always taken after him that you know, hard work doesn't go to waste. That's a phrase of his too, and I really like that phrase because it helps me think. If I put in the effort into something and maybe it didn't go to plan, such as a test you've been revising for and it maybe didn't go to how well you wanted it to be, well, it's fine because you put in the effort and that effort doesn't go to waste. When you come back, that test may be going a lot better. So I always like to think positive, for sure.
Oh.
And my dad's a very big positive thinker. Definitely, and he always helps us to think positive, even in situations where it doesn't seem like you can. But those philosophies.
Just keeping up the spirit every time in every situations.
Yes, yeah. It's important
So-
to have a strong spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, see, 13, once you turn 13, we always say new teenager in town, then the trouble starts. It will be a double trouble.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
So, why they call double trouble for a boy is, especially you are a boy and you are a teenager. Okay?
Yeah.
So, handling teenagers is the toughest part for every parent. Then
Yeah.
I must say your dad is done super magic to you that you turned out to be a super philosopher at a very young age. So, absolutely, I just say well done, Mr. Bhaskar. So, yeah, now coming to the writing part, you said drawing and writing are your main hobbies. So,
Yeah.
you are here just because of writing today. So, what is this writing thought came into your mind when that seed started in your brain?
So it turns out at quite a young age, at around 7 years old, I found out
Okay.
that writing is a certain talent of mine.
Mhm.
As we'd always have some writing assignments in my old school, in my primary school.
Okay.
And that was where we were tasked with writing either descriptive writing, non-fiction report about something, and fictional writing, which is what I am more talented at. And I
Yeah.
noticed whenever I wrote and got my writing back, I'd see there were some good comments about my writing, and I
Okay.
noticed it wasn't a one-time thing. Is that it happened a lot of times, and I started to enjoy writing, because the thing about creative writing is what I quite liked about it is that it's like a blank canvas and you can do whatever you want on it.
True.
And as you know, as the saying goes, a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, you could say 1,000 words paints a picture, you know.
Wow, this is impressive. Yes.
Yeah, so it's so that's when I discovered I had a certain flair for creative writing. And then as it continued into my current school,
Secondary.
yeah, secondary school, when we did more descriptive and creative writing, I was doing quite well in that as well. I was getting nice comments from teachers, friends. So I really came to believe like I did have a talent for this.
Wow. So that is very surprising because many of the parents, because I'm also a parent, many
Yes.
parents has a complaint, especially girls are into writing, boys are not into writing, they are mostly like mathematics. They're more good with the numbers. It's very
Yeah.
rare to hear somebody very good at the writing. So it is all because of the teachers' comments only or anything else which pushed you towards the writing?
Well, obviously, it's important to have encouragement because one thing I feel is that a lot of the younger generation they're not able to show their talents out at that age because simply the opportunity is not there for them to show their talent. So for me, luckily, writing is a thing that is like a subject that all schools have to touch upon. And luckily,
Very
that
nice.
was the talent that that I found in primary school, and then continued on further. But of course, the encouragement really helps, along with the talent itself.
Yes, yes, truly, truly impressive. So apart from this book, what you have wrote, like recently, what you published, before that, any other stories you just maybe you wrote but you didn't publish?
Yes. So actually, in previous creative writing competitions, which I will touch upon later, it's kind of how the inspiration for my book started. But in
Okay.
previous creative writing competitions, I did write some stories that I submitted.
Okay.
I think one of my stories which I wrote 2 years ago was about a boy in his room,
Mm-hmm.
and on this television, something plays like an emergency message saying this is
Mm.
not a drill, and then it's like sort of a dystopian style of writing. It's where this huge alien spacecraft arrives into Earth's atmosphere, and
Oh.
and this tiny rock, greenish black rock, for like goes through the window of this boy's room, and he observes it. He observes the rock, and it turns out it's a very short encounter because it turns out the spacecraft was looking for that rock.
Oh.
So so that was like a short story. It was a 750-word story as part of the limit. That was like one of the rules for the creative writing competition.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very nice. See, when you're describing every single word, you should have a good grip of English. Okay, coming back from an Indian family, even though you are born and brought up in London, there is a huge difference between the people who are actually Britishers and to the Indians. That is a known fact for everybody, right?
Yes.
So, what extra support you just took to write all this? Because you definitely need a great grip of the language, and the more you use, like, you use metaphors, use similes, use lot of adjectives, everything, because writing is not simply just you go and write. It includes so many things. So how have you mastered in all these skills? Do you take any extra lessons for English, especially for writing, or how you do it?
So what I feel is that when you have a talent for writing or talent for anything, if you add to those things by adding like little skills that will enhance your skill, your overall skill, that will improve you. And I think anyone would like to do that with their skill. They'd always like to improve it, be the best they can. In this case, similes, metaphors, special vocabulary are sometimes you may think it's a bit of a stretch to learn these, but really it really helps and enhances your writing, and makes the reader feel like you put a lot of effort into this writing. The whole point of writing is not only for the writer to enjoy it, but also to make sure the reader enjoys what you're writing as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So
you have
those
to
things,
deliver to the readers what they are looking from their end, because you should convey the same way the way you wrote. Even the readers also should understand the same way what you conveyed, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a challenging task for any writer. So who was your initial proofreader, or who is your initial proofreader?
For this book?
Yeah, any book, whatever you wrote. Since childhood, I know your teachers were there. And after that, you said just now, you wrote 750-word stories. Like, who will do the proofreading for you?
Oh, so actually my little brother does.
Oh, that's really nice. How old is he?
He is currently 10 years old.
Okay.
And he turned 10 in November.
Oh.
And he not only did the proofreading for the short 750-word stories a few years ago, but he also did the proofreading for Captain Catastrophe's Great Catastrophe, which is the book published. Yeah, because the book is sort of aimed at that age range.
So he's your initial critic also.
Yes, yeah. If he doesn't like something, he'll definitely tell me.
Wow, that's really impressive. Okay, that's really awesome. So which school you go to now?
Right now I go to a school in Richmond called Hampton School.
Oh, you go to Hampton School. Okay, you're near 10 now.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. So now coming back to the book which you published. So tell me about that book, and we will talk about the book now. Okay. What is that book is all about?
So the book is about a pirate called Captain Catastrophe, who's seen as a great hero, who does lots of heroic activities. He helps people, and is seen as like a proper sort of you'd think of him as a Bahubali kind of person.
Bahubali.
Yeah, he's seen as a great hero all over the world, but one problem is that whatever he does, it's accidental. It's not. He doesn't do it on purpose. So while everyone thinks he's really a hero, he's actually doing all these special activities by accident. So when a huge problem arises and basically the fate of the world rests on his shoulders, he has to prove that he is a real hero, and he has to and he encounters problems, and he will solve them by becoming a true hero. And that's sort of the main outline of the story.
Yeah, that's nice. You just briefed it very well. I think somebody joined the line to have a word with you. Let's welcome them, who they are and what they want to tell you. Hello, namaste.
Hello, Andy. Namaste. Hi. Nenu Sai Kumar Andy. I'm calling from India.
Sai Kumar garu from India. Yeah, Chappandi.
Yes. First of all, happy to join the call. I wanted to congratulate Vaibhav on his.
Yes, he's here. You can have a word with him. Vaibhav, Sai Kumar is here to talk to you. You can talk to him.
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey
Vaibhav. Hi. Firstly, congratulations on your success with your first ever published book. And I really like the way you wrote the book and described the character right from the introduction. That really shows how much how much creative you can think, and how much you can take us the readers through your imagination. I think it also not only helps the kids or youth, but also people like me who are actually very much used to a redundant world of things, and all of a sudden reading through a book gives us some sort of imagination back, which also helps us in most of the ways. Yeah. Thank you for this book, and we're really waiting for the next edition, probably as you are planning. And
thank you very much. Bye.
Congratulations on your award as well, the Silver Art
Award.
You. And I think you really made your dad and your family, your hometown, everyone proud with this achievement, and wishing you more and more achievements moving forward.
Thank you. Bye. Very nice to talk to you.
So sweet. Thank you. Bye.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Andy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's so sweet of them. So your Pinny and Babai calling from India.
Yes, my Pinny and Babai. Yeah, very sweet of them to call.
You know what? Whatever we achieve in life, except us, everybody, you'll take that, they embrace that, they love it. So that is what we need, and especially you need, and you're lucky to have them. So yes, before I could ask you, Babai already mentioned about the awards. I'll come for the award section later. As you mentioned, Bahubali of that story is the new book. So, like, what made you write that story? Like, who is your inspiration to write that story in that certain way? Is there any film inspiration or any real story inspiration, or this is your fictional world in your own mind which is happening, you just portrayed on a book? Like, how this happened?
So I'd say there are a couple of inspirations for this. I think Definitely the Pirates of Caribbean series,
Yes,
um,
yes.
which actually Captain Jack Sparrow in the movie, he's a bit of a comedic character, is quite funny, but he also is a bit of a hero, and that's kind of how Captain Catastrophe is portrayed in my book, and I also like the mythical, magical aspects of some parts of the movie, which I made some of my own magical and mythical
Yeah.
elements in my story as well.
So, do you imagine yourself in that character while writing?
Yes, so part of being a writer is really putting yourself in the shoes of that character. Like,
character.
how do you think he'll feel? Like, you have to be fully immersed into the writing, and that's why writing is not really like 10-minute quick thing and then put the writing away and come back to it later sort of thing. No, you need a lot of time and preparation to really think, because I'd say every page has to be a page turner. It's so how the reader is gripped and wants to continue reading the story, which is really important for the writer and the reader, because obviously the reader will have probably purchased this book and they're wanting to see something good out of it, and the writer has put a lot of effort into the book, probably also wants to see something good out of it. So it's very important. Yeah.
No, carry on. I'm listening.
Yeah. So it's very important to make sure you're fully immersed into the writing and that. Yeah. It's fully.
So here you have to play three characters. You have to be the whatever the character you imagined and you're writing on the book. You have to be the character, and you have to be the writer aspect. You have to be the reader also, which makes a reader to turn the page on its own, on their own, rather than oh God, this is enough now. No, you have to create that in the reader to turn the page. So it's very challenging task, and at the very young age, I must say, I can't really stop appreciating you, because it's not easy task to you, and obviously proud parents are there who are listening to this show, and somebody else also joined the call to congratulate you. Let's welcome them. Hello andi, namaste. Evaru maatladutunnaru?
Namaste, Siri madam. Am I audible?
Yes, please. Yes, you are.
Okay. Hey, good morning, Vaibhav. This is Raju from Hyderabad, India.
Hello, sir.
Congratulations. I'm very happy to see your accomplishment. I'm happy because this imagination and expressiveness is becoming a growing skill in the demanding the skill in the global opportunities, employability opportunities.
I agree, yes.
And now you're standing as one of the role models that, in the young age, we can exhibit that skills. And I'm also happy to know that you're taking some workshops and helping your fellow students to understand how to write and how to create things, keep up that good work. I would like to take this opportunity to understand your future plans on writing and the themes on writing.
Yes.
And if I get an opportunity, I would like to request you to focus on empathy and ethics. So if, that the future kids are able to understand empathy, thinking from others' angle, and unconditional ethics, then the world will be much more developed and much more present. And I would place my request to you to consider these themes also in your future writings. Once again, hearty congratulations and very happy for your accomplishment.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. That's really awesome. He just mentioned two important points.
Yes.
He mentioned that empathy and unconditional ethics. So what the current generation is lacking of, many people think that the current generation is lacking of these things. So he highly asking you to focus these elements in your next writing, which is an absolutely beautiful thought of him. Good
Yes,
job.
I
So
agree.
next, somebody.
Yeah.
True. I'm really impressed when he was mentioning all those things. Honestly, superb.
Yeah.
He asked about your future plans. So before you answer his question, somebody else also joined in our call. Let's welcome them. Hello, welcome to Telugu NRI Radio.
Hi, this is Prabhas.
Sorry, who is that?
Prabhas.
Prabha. Yeah, please. Vaibhav is here.
So, hi, Vaibhav. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you very much, Prabhas.
Yeah, to be honest, I read it all in one day. It was so interesting, and I really love the story.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. So, my question for you is, when reading the book, I saw how you develop each character and give each character a really deep personality. Now, I was wondering, how are you able to come up with the character's personality?
I spent a lot of time looking at different ways that characters are interlinked with each other. When you have a boy and a girl, male and female character, the chemistry between them is going to be probably more interesting to read about because of the different thought processes they go through. And also taking inspiration from other books and films helped me decide what kind of characters Captain Catastrophe and Jessica from the book, like how they have to be developed. So I'd say a lot of thought process goes into it, but as you write the story, the characters develop themselves, and it's also easier for me as I get into the flow of writing to continually develop these characters, and it becomes quite easy when you get into the flow of it.
Right. Yeah, that's good. And I've got to say, my favorite character is Captain Catastrophe. His clumsiness really helps that with the story and gives it a hint of humor.
Yes, yeah. He is a funny character. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. I hope to see another book soon.
I will.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm planning a series. Thank you.
Yeah, see you.
Is he your classmate, Vaibhav?
He's in a classmate, but he's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, I can see the spark and I can hear the, joy in your voice. Hey, man, come on. So I was like, okay. See, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Somebody else also joined the call. Let's welcome them. Hello, welcome to Telugu NRI Radio. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead with Vaibhav.
Hello, I'm Rajesh Talati.
Hello, sir.
And I am Cambridge University Principal Examiner, and I'm Vice Chairman of TAL as well. So I want to congratulate book.
Thank you very much.
It's very captivating. So I didn't read the book yet, but I hope it will do very well.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask you one question. So what inspired you to write this lovely book?
Well, I definitely say my family, who read a lot of books, and I also read a lot of books. And by reading a lot of books, you get a wide range of vocabulary and ideas that you can incorporate into writing a story of your own. So I'd say yes, reading a variety of books, and specifically in the pirate genre, which is where my book is based, in that adventure fiction about pirates genre. Yeah.
Excellent. So which class are you studying? CSCs?
Hello?
Can you repeat that, please, sir?
Are you into GCSEs now? Or?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, currently in year 10, so yeah.
Year
GCSEs.
10, yeah.
All the best. So
Thank you very much.
Many more books.
Thank you very much for calling, sir.
Thank you, Andy. Rajesh garu, ela unnaru?
Really, thank you. మన వాళ్ళు రాస్తున్నానికి నాకు చాలా హ్యాపీ ఫీల్ అయ్యాను. So just I want to encourage Vaibhav.
ఎంకరేజ్ చేయాలి. కరెక్ట్, మంచి పని. అబ్సల్యూట్లీ సూపర్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ రాజేష్ గారు.
Bye.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. బాయ్
Thank
అండి.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very
So
much.
he mentioned a good point. Rajesh Garu mentioned a good point, Vaibhav. You are in
Yes.
year 10 now. So the next year from now on, being a Hampton boy, I
Yeah.
know how the studies are there because one of my friend's son also goes to Hampton same year.
Okay.
You must know him. Yeah, I'll tell you later. So I know how stressful the education in there. So how you are managing, because for writing any book, you need that kind of environment where you absolutely be alone on your own and
Yes.
create that vibes to write. And you have to give not just an hour or so. You can't limit the time, isn't it?
That
You don't
is
know how
very
long
true.
it will
Yeah.
take. Yeah, you can't really limit that. Oh, I'll think only half an hour today. I'll think half an hour tomorrow. You can't really restrict the time while writing. So how you are managing studies and writing, both things?
So what I like to do is utilize the holidays a lot, because the holidays are a time where I feel that I have that 3 hours in which I can truly plan, and write, all while being in a room completely silent with no distractions. But also when it comes to writing, sometimes on school days, I make sure to obviously get the studies done, get the work done, because I don't want to be thinking about like the work while doing my story writing, because it might rush me, because obviously homeworks have to be submitted quite early. So I feel that it's quite important to get the work out of the way and then move on to writing, because for me writing isn't really isn't like a work. It's very much a hobby, and I very much enjoy doing it. So obviously accomplishing the homework first means that I can move on and have more time doing the writing. But of course sometimes I don't get the time, and that's why I use the holidays a lot more.
That's really nice, because whenever you feel like you are into that genre, when suppose you think that, okay, I have to start a book, and you starting with accumulating the ideas at one place. Suddenly, if you're taking shower, you'll get an idea quickly. Suddenly, if you're having lunch, you get an idea. It's not that your brain, you can't control your brain, especially when you're into writing. All these ideas, suddenly if you're doing mathematics, suddenly you pop an idea into your mind related to the book. Is that happens to you?
Yes. So I'd say one thing I'd like to do, and this goes out as a tip to people who are struggling for ideas for stories, is when you have some idea, that you think is really good, I'd note it down almost immediately, and so you wouldn't forget it, because I know there's a lot of times where I had a really interesting idea, but I forgot it in the next minute, because that was just a flash, and I felt it wasn't useful at that time. But when you have, now that I'm sort of getting into writing a lot more now, it's important to utilize all your thoughts, because you never know when you're going to be writing another genre of story, because it's always good to try new things out, try new styles of writing. Of course, that'll not only increase your vocabulary, but also increase your audience, and you'll sort of have a more larger presence in the writing industry. So I'd say whenever you have a thought, note it down on a piece of paper, or note it down on your phone. Because it'll be very important in the future.
Because being a radio presenter, I always get these ideas. Suddenly I'll forget at one point. Then always I keep a pen and paper next to me or in my handbag. Wherever I'm traveling, I'm sitting, I'm doing, I'm cooking, I get that ideas, I quickly make a note. That is the reason I asked you this question. So,
Yeah.
yeah, coming to the point, somebody asked you about your future plans. So, where do you want to see yourself down the line 10 years?
In So actually, when I get this, I kind of get this question a lot, and what I like to say is writing is definitely a hobby of mine,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also other aspects of such as like sciences, which I'm also quite interested in at the moment. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing for sure is writing will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm very sure of that. And I'll definitely hope to publish more books and hopefully get a whole series of books, not only of Captain Catastrophe, but I could also start new genres because
Exactly.
that expands the writing, and it and obviously as the writing progresses, you're more used to it, I guess. So
Yeah.
you're improving your skills as you're
It will
writing.
increase your audience range also.
Yes, yeah, that's very true as
It
well.
won't limit to one particular genre. But next, this is an adventurous genre, what you have written so far. Then what is your next genre of planning? Like, what kind of genre you're thinking of?
I'm quite interested in the science fiction aspect, science fiction
Okay.
genre.
Okay.
And I may be looking into writing that because I think I mentioned some time ago that I wrote a 750-word story on like alien spacecraft sort of.
Okay.
So
So we can expect another Stranger Things soon.
probably yes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. So somebody else also joined our call. After that, you can explain your future plans. Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to Telugu NRI Radio.
Hi, my name is Manpreet, and my son actually got Vaibhav's book at his school. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Vaibhav for writing such a fantastic book. I've gone through a few chapters with him because he was so excited to read this book. He doesn't like reading, by the way. He hates reading. And the day he received this book, he was so excited. He was like, oh, I got this book, and one of my friend's brother has written this book, and I'm really interested in reading. And he read the whole book without even me telling him even once to read the book. And he's one of those childs who would start a book and would not even finish it. So it is amazing. Thank you for doing that, Vaibhav, because he loves reading your book. He loved reading your book, and he was so enthusiastic while he was reading that by the end of the day, when I'll come back from office, he'll be like, Mom, do you know what I read in the book today? Do you know? And he would give me the whole description of the chapter that he read. So that is amazing because his comprehension was increasing by reading that book as well. And he was comprehending whatever he was reading, and he was really excited. So thank you so much, and keep writing books like these and maybe more, as you said before that you wanted to expand into more genres. So yeah, best of luck for that. And I'll be looking forward to your next book.
Thank you. That's very sweet what you've told me. And I hope you enjoy my next book when it comes out. Thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Manpreet.
Thank you.
So that means some children are very stubborn. They really don't like to read books. Even my daughter is one of them. So it's very hard to push her towards a book and make her get interest into the book. So I will definitely tell her to take out this book and read, because as she was so happy and excited when she was talking about the book, a 10-year-old on his own taking a book and reading give a lot of joy to any mom. So I know how the joy feels, okay? So that's really awesome, because you are making other children also read the book. And I'll come to the workshops also soon after this. But before that, somebody else also joined our call to congratulate you. Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to Telugu NRI Radio. Hello? Sorry, the call has been dropped. Yes, now you can answer the future plan. Somebody else asked it. Someone else
yeah.
asked it, I think. Yeah, please go ahead with that answer. What are your future plans?
I'm currently planning and writing the sequel to Captain's Catastrophe's Great Catastrophe. Yeah. So the main title of the book will always stay the same, and there's a small subtitle underneath it which says "The Crystals of Raylux," which is that book in the series, the first book in the series. And then I'm definitely looking to write the second book, which I'm currently doing right now. And the title hasn't been decided yet, but I'm sure, as many authors do, the title will come up at some point, and while they're writing the book, and it should be a good title.
Okay, so part 2 is coming, like Bahubali part 2 then.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, because the book, the cover page itself, very interesting, with the shape, with the person there on the sea. It's like the book itself is giving a vibe like, okay, this is going to be definitely an adventurous story. Something interesting is definitely in the story. Yes, it is absolutely. I'm waiting for that, your second book also. I think the call has been added again. Hello, namaste.
Hi, Andy. This is Srujana.
Srujana garu, yes. Vaibhav unnaru manto matlandi.
I want to ask a few questions to him. First of all, congratulations, Vaibhav.
Thank you very much.
It's a great achievement. I have to truly say that. At this young age, I don't know how you did it. You need a lot of determination and very thoughtful. You have to be very thoughtful. And you made my son is 10 years old, and I buy him a lot of books so that his vocabulary gets better.
Yes.
Now, after knowing that somebody has some Indian and a person who we can relate to has wrote a book, he got an inspiration. I too want to be a writer. I too want to write a book, or what is it called? It's a cartoonist. So, like, I want to know, like, how did you get to the thought that I want to write a book?
So, actually, a lot of credit goes to, well, not credit, but how I wanted to continue the introduction of this story is actually because of the COVID-19 pandemic last summer, which was actually how I was looking for hobbies, to something to do to keep me occupied during the pandemic. And actually the COVID-19 pandemic, when everyone was stuck at home, gave me an opportunity to carry on writing this book. And because everyone had a lot of time, everyone was kind of isolated. So in a way that kind of helps with writing. You're isolated, you're thinking about the book while you're writing it. So you're, as I previously said, being fully immersed into the book is important. So you need that space and time, and the pandemic somehow helped with that.
I'm really awestruck because at your age, where kids go and play video games and don't care about anything, I have no words. Really
exactly,
amazing.
I was
really,
amazed
really.
too. When the pandemic has come, many children were excited to just focus on their video games.
Yes, and just to stay away from the books, stay away from the schoolwork. We always have to chase them, do this. But him,
absolutely. The first statement of him itself amazed me, saying that hard work always pays off. At the age of 14, somebody saying that statement is something beyond the words for me.
Yes. It's not that you're not inspiring only kids or children of your age or younger than you, you are being an inspiration to anyone. Like even I can learn from you. It's really,
True.
really appreciable.
That's
just
really
wanted to
nice.
say.
I agree.
Yeah, it is a pleasure knowing you, and happy that one of us has gone so long. And I wish you all the luck in future. And I
Thank you
want
very
you
much.
to reach heights.
Thank you.
I'm really amazed. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I appreciate you too for bringing people who are talented and interviewing them. This will
Thank
surely.
you.
I'm really happy that you're doing this. Congratulations to you
Oh,
too.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As you
dear.
said, I'm learning so much through Vaibhav today. Absolutely. I was equally
Yeah.
excited. Thank you.
That's-
Thank you. Thank
That-
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, dear. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. So, Vaibhav,
Yes.
see, some books has come, like suppose Harry Potter has come. Harry
Yes.
Potter started with like a mother started a book, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that story like created hypes everywhere. It's a movie. There is a big Harry Potter studio near somewhere here in Watford.
Yes.
So
Warner
it's
Brothers Studio. Yeah.
Correct. One book can make wonders in the world.
Yes.
So in the same sense, where you wanted to see your book at one point, what kind of goal you wanted to achieve in terms of writing a book, where you wanted to take out as a film, or you wanted to create a hype like Harry Potter? Where you want to see that? What's your ultimate goal of being a writer?
So my ultimate goal of writing would definitely be seeing my book being turned into a film, because I feel to get to that stage, your book needs to be of extreme high presence in the writing category, not only in the pirate category, but in the whole writing category. Like you have to make, you have to like be that star in the midst of just a blank canvas. You have to stand out, and to stand out, you need something. You need a book that's not a normal book. You need something that will make a person recommend it to another person, make that person recommend to another, and spread. That's kind of what I'd love to get to, like sort of like building a brand with just a book and a book series as well. So writing more than one book will definitely help with that, because that could inspire a film series as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places I'd like to take the book to, but a film is definitely one of them. I've been thinking like, oh, imagine if my book was a film, and like this would happen, that would happen. It's very nice to think. Yeah.
True. Wow, that's nice. So, yes, coming to the awards, you Babai was talking about Silver Award. What is that award? Why you got it? Like, can you explain me more about that award?
Yes. So that award is a Silver Arts Award. It's basically a scheme which promotes young people to do art-related things. Like, so when I say arts, I mean like the creative arts. This can include like painting, drawing, sculpting, building, writing, filmmaking. There's a lot of things you can do, but the main thing is all about creativity. So how this works is there are a number of things you have to do. You get given a portfolio, and there's a number of things you have to do to fill that portfolio and submit it so that you can receive the award. So what I did for this award is so my project was this book, the original manuscript. So like just the story, just the content of the book. And then obviously we published later in like near end of July. But that the published book wasn't part of the award, but the manuscript was. So I think from what I remember is you have to talk to people that are in your space of the creative arts, so such as other authors and other writers, different kind of writers. So that I had to do that. I talked to different authors, asked them about their techniques in writing and how I can improve my writing, which is part of the project. And
Okay, so I have to stop you here because I got curious now. You said you will talk to many authors as a part of this. So, do authors really share their tips and techniques to anybody?
Well, I'd like to think that the authors which I did talk to feel like quite happy to inspire the younger generation to write, because obviously if it's their talent, they probably want to expand their talents. So like, if they're probably in like so into writing, they'd like want to inspire kids who don't do writing as much to like have a go, because I think it's important for the younger generation to try as many things as possible so that they can find their talents, such as I did, as spoke earlier in the interview. Yeah.
So with whom you interacted with? Which author during this process?
Yeah.
With whom you interacted?
I can't recollect the names exactly, but some of them were authors who were just getting into writing, because one thing I wanted to try and do was interview these like as part of the project, to interview these kind of authors, because I would like to know what kind of, maybe they have some special resources they're using, like and I'd like to know where they're coming from. Some of them maybe don't share, but it's always good to try and ask.
Absolutely. I'll ask you one question after this phone call. So, hi, hello, namaste. Who is this? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Vaibhav is there?
Yes, Vaibhav is here. You can talk to him.
Hi, Vaibhav. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you? How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Auntie.
I think phone has been dropped.
I think she's my auntie. She wanted to drop by and say congratulations.
That's
which is very sweet. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So yes, what do you think? What is your unique quality?
I'd say, well, I think I mentioned the first thing I mentioned was hard work and persistence. I don't. So what I like to always think about is reducing the number of regrets we have in life. I think that for this book, to make it the best it can be, I'd like to try a lot of things, because I don't want to do something where I don't want to feel something where I'm like, oh, I should have probably put this part in. It would have made it a lot better. So that's why I like to always keep adding new things, keep trying new things, because that way I'd not only reduce the regrets I have for writing the story, but also hard work combined with talent is a lethal combination. I mean, if you have the talent and you're a very hard worker, then you can do outstanding things. And I think this works with any talent, any hobby which you're really interested in. If you have the talent for it and you're a really hard worker, you can do amazing things. But also, that doesn't mean that you need to have a talent to be really good at something. If you're a really hard worker, it's because I sometimes I'm not very good at a couple of things which I want to be good at, but through
But
over
you
time,
master
and hard
yourself
work,
by redoing it again and again.
yes, keep trying. So resilience is key in any talent. And may sound like a generic answer, but it is true.
You
Resilience.
actually, you're amazing me by every statement. Every time I'm forgetting your age. When I get to know your age again, it's making me feel more wonder. My God, who is this? What he's talking? Okay, you're truly an inspiration to anyone. I could say, not just any age limited, like not 10, 12, 14, not any age. To everyone, you're a true inspiration. So, how you
Thank you.
felt when you received that silver award? What is your reaction?
Well, I felt how it worked was I had a couple of friends in my school who were doing it as well, and who did their kind of own project. So I felt that for me, it was quite nice to accomplish it together. I mean, like with a couple of other friends. I mean, I did this project individually, but it was nice to know that the other people who did the project also accomplished it. So it's like a sense of relief, but also a sense of accomplishment that your work has been verified by people who are in that sector, in that area. So it feels good to know that you can use that award to know where your writing stands at the moment, and so you can take that forward. And that's exactly what I did after I got that award. With the comments and feedback I got, I used that, improved the content of the story, and published it near the end of July.
Okay, superb. Before we could move on to the workshops bit, somebody else also joined our call to have a word with you. Let's welcome them to Telugu NRI Radio and see what they'll ask you. Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to Telugu NRI Radio.
Hi, Vaibhav, this is Neela.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much.
I've seen you grow up in front of me. I've never seen that you have such a talent. That's great to know. That's really good. Very proud of you.
Thank you very much, Uncle.
Right. My question is about, yes, you're writing these friction books, which interesting and getting people, especially children, even I think adults, quite interesting to read those books. Have you thought about books that inspire people on real world problems? Like for example, there's a lot of inequality, injustice, climate issue. Because there are a lot of Indian writers in that front, right? Rabindranath Tagore or Sarojini Naidu, who have been very influential with their writing skills, because you reach so many people for writing. Have you thought about that? Something in future?
Well, I like to. What I'd like to do with my next book is try and incorporate these elements of ethics and inspiring people to do the right thing. In this case, solving problems like inequality. And with the reach, as you mentioned, lots of influential people have a lot of reach. It's also important because explaining these issues, but also teaching the younger generation how to solve them through a fictional book. I think it's a pretty interesting way of solving these problems. I feel like it's a way to make the younger generation aware about this and show that this is happening, we need to stop it. I feel like this is where not only me but a lot of other writers could also take this kind of writing forward.
Yeah, that's really great, because you see a lot of these in Indian movies, right? The recent movie of Nani, I won't reveal the story, but there's a bit of writing and how that writing can influence people and how you reach and actually solve a real problem in the world, right? Or at least contribute towards it.
Yes.
Excellent. That's good. All right, I'll see you around then. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Vaibhav, as he was mentioning about the movies. So do you watch any movies and do you read any other books to give you a lot of ideas?
So one cool thing about my genre at the moment, the pirate genre, is that I include some mythical elements, and these magical mythical elements happen in almost like all kind of fictional movies, nearly like especially some of the kids movies, which have a lot of magical mythical aspects, which sometimes may seem a bit young for me to watch, but actually you get some really good ideas, and it turns out because adults and script writers, professional script writers, they write those stories, so they know what they're doing because they have years of experience. So knowing that you're taking inspiration from them through films is how I can improve myself by coming up with more sophisticated ideas. And yes.
Okay. What's your favorite book so far?
My favorite book so far?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a pretty tough question because there are a lot of books. I'd say Harry Potter and
Harry Potter
Goblet and the Goblet of Fire. That is when I read it the first time. It's been a while since I've read it, but when I read it, it was actually the first Harry Potter book I read because I wasn't very aware of the Harry Potter series at that time. But when I saw the book, I picked it up, read it, and I figured and I found out why J.K. Rowling was so popular because of why Harry Potter was so popular. Yeah, so the first time I remember the first time reading Goblet of Fire. It was an amazing book.
True. So yeah, coming to your workshops, I heard you run few workshops also for the next generation kids, like who are younger to you, and you inspired them to write the books. Can you explain more about that workshops?
Yes. So as part, actually, this links with the Arts Award, the Silver Arts Award. So part of the Silver Arts Award is called leadership. The leadership part. It's where you teach the younger generation about your skill set and how you can inspire them and make them become better at your skill. So also one thing is my audio clear.
Yeah.
Okay. As I was saying, so part of this project involved us going to a school and explaining in a variety of ways. In my case, I had a couple of activities planned for the workshop, and I did them. And when we finished the workshops, which explained things about creative writing, improving technique, and overall made sure it's fun because everyone likes a bit of fun in workshops. You don't want to make it too boring or long, which some kids think writing is. They think it's a bit on the boring side, but I could tell when I finished the workshop, I could see a lot of kids enjoyed it, and they said they're going to start writing a lot more, and that it really touched me because it showed that as I said, hard work doesn't go to waste, and in this case definitely didn't go to waste, and I'm very happy that I've inspired a couple of kids. So, and also I've been in touch with some local libraries, and they are quite interested to do workshops, creative writing workshops to improve creative skills. And I believe that soon we'll get workshops going around in that library every weekend, and kids will be able to improve their writing skills.
Good. Superb. Awesome. So you are an inspiration to many upcoming children who are into writing.
Apparently so, yes. I'm very happy to know that as well, because to get someone to read your book is one thing, but for them to be inspired by it and start writing a book of their own it's like an achievement. Yeah. it's really special to me.
Okay, superb, awesome. So yes, you said about your younger one, okay, like your brother. You said about your daddy. What about your mom?
Yes. I was going to get to my mum.
Because I am a
so-
mother, I was like,
Yes.
you didn't mention about mom.
So my mum helps with. So whenever while I'm writing the story, and this is a big thing because I think I didn't have an opportunity to touch upon it, but this is sort of the editing aspect. So when I'm like stuck on part of writing, I always ask my mum, "Can you read this? Do you know how I can improve it?" And she always comes up with ideas and things I can do, because many people believe writers only come up with the ideas. They don't get much help. Everything's done by themselves. It's not the case, actually. I felt that I really needed the help and support from my family, especially my mum, who definitely gave me a lot of ideas, which if I wasn't, if she wasn't there to help me with my writing, I don't know what my book would be, actually, because a lot of there is a couple of important ideas. And
you said you want to mention them.
Which my mum definitely helped with. So huge thanks to my mum and my family as well, and my dad and my little brother. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to write this book. So
true. You said you want to read out a little chapter to us.
Yes. I could actually. Let me just open up my book.
Yeah.
So one cool fact about this first chapter is that, as I mentioned before, the creative writing competitions which I did, this book, the first chapter was actually one of the 750-word stories.
Okay.
So this actually started the book. So when I did the creative writing competition and submitted this story, this first chapter was basically the main idea of how I started writing the story. So yeah, so this is chapter 1. Accidents happen. He was one of the most cunning pirates of all time, according to the stories, and his legend had grown hugely. This was, of course, nowhere near the truth. When people spoke of him winning huge battles against inconceivable odds, it was nearly always an accident. He once tripped over a barrel, which allowed him to avoid a direct cannonball shot to his body and sent a cannonball directly into the weapons cache of another ship, blowing it to smithereens. A similar incident allowed him to defeat 8 men when a rope he was nervously gripping tripped the men and sending most of them overboard. His name was Captain Catastrophe. He had dreadlocked hair down to his shoulders and a good-looking face. He had a slim but strong body. His hat, which was black and sewn with gold thread, was worn by his grandfather, Captain Calamity. He always tried to help people whenever he could, and he always liked to be on a ship, which was called the Golden Fortune. The ship was beautiful. It had tall wooden masts that creaked in a fairly strong wind, and large white sails that flapped and rustled. There were neatly organized barrels of salt fish, fruit, flour, water, and rum on the decks. Next to them, also coils of thick braided rope. Slaves, carpenters, and gunners were swarming the ship, their bare feet thumped against the cold wooden deck. They were sailing across the ocean, and the sun was close to fading away. The horizon stretched across their entire field of view in the most amazing fashion. A massive expanse of crystal-like water was all they could see ahead of them. The breeze caressed their skin, cooling them while the sun faded. Beautiful colors of orange and pink filled the dark blue sky and colored the puffy white clouds. The calm ocean reflected the ship perfectly. The smell which the waves conjured was not fishy and disgusting as it was sometimes, but rather a little salty. Suddenly, a great loud boom had taken place at the bottom of the ship. Captain Catastrophe looked through the telescope from the ship's lookout and found a black flag with a red skull and crossbones in the middle. He then zoomed out of the strange image and soon found out that it was the ship called the Scourge of Satan. This ship's captain was Captain Dreadnought. He had a reputation for looting, killing, and destroying ships. Captain Catastrophe immediately ordered his men to get their guns and cutlasses ready, and especially the cannons. Soon the beautiful scenery was destroyed by the wisps of silver-grey smoke that curled and danced their way through the air, and the yelling and thuds of people running on the deck. As the enemy ship was getting closer, a second cannon was fired. This time it was from Captain Catastrophe's ship. It shot across the water and created a small trail behind it and hit the ship straight into the deck. Splinters and large pieces of wood scattered in all directions. Some people got blown away by the huge impact and fell into the watery depths below. Then, when the enemy ship was close to theirs, the swordsmen swung onto the ship and set wooden planks between the ships so that they could get across easily. There were loud yells and screams. There were deafening shots and explosions. Dark maroon shades of red were everywhere on the wooden-floored ships. Captain Catastrophe was surrounded by Dreadnought's men with razor-sharp cutlasses. He climbed up one of the masts and tried to keep distance between them. He then heard strange sawing noises. He looked down and soon found out to his horror that they were sawing the mast. Captain Catastrophe noticed the sail a few meters away from him. To his shock, the mast leaned forward with speed, and he lunged towards the sail. The mast then fell on the men with a horrible crunch, and hanging onto a very high sail was Captain Catastrophe. Yep.
Nice. So this has given me an idea. Did you try audiobook?
I'm trying an audiobook for this. Well, I've been looking into it. It seems like a interesting idea, yeah, which I could do.
Yeah, because you can, because the way you are reading also very nice and good. So you can try as an audiobook also.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been, audiobooks were part of what ways I could take this book forward, and thank you for your feedback. I guess I could do an audiobook.
Yeah, you can. So any tip, we are coming almost near to the interview. Any tips and techniques to the upcoming writers or who wanted to write, but they are, they're stepping back due to maybe some tension. It's like, oh my God, how that this works? Is it a big mess? We have to put a lot of time and effort. Can I balance between the education and the writing? All these, thoughts in their mind. So what kind of tips and techniques you wanted to give to the parents as well as children?
So one thing I would definitely suggest is don't be scared to write something that you don't think is perfectly all right, because it's all about getting started. In my opinion, the first chapter of a story is the hardest thing about writing a story, because especially if you haven't planned as well as you wanted to, then you're going to think that this job is going to be very hard because all the ideas are new as you're writing the story. But one thing, also another thing to suggest is one thing I already touched on is making a note of all the ideas you get, because at that time the ideas will be very good and you could use them, you could incorporate them in your story, and it will expand not only your audience but your ideas that you could take forward when writing a different story. And the most important tip I'd say is don't give up writing a story because you've lost interest in the story, because actually the ability to sit down and start writing shows that there's actually you're showing some interest, and so you may get a bit bored after a while, but at least it's a start. So whenever you think, oh, I'm not doing as well as I want to with the story, don't worry, because you're doing a thing that a lot of people aren't doing. And to be able to sit down and write a story is an amazing thing. And you can continue that very easily. All you need is hard work, determination, resilience. And to be fair, you don't actually need the talent, because I've known a couple of friends who have written a story, and they're not very they don't have the talent for writing as they've told me. But when I've read their story, it's they're quite good. So really, you don't need to have that talent to be a writer. You just need to sit down, get started, and let your imagination take the reins.
Correct. Super, very well said. Yes. So that is all. Like somebody mentioned, make sure you bring out these empathy and ethics point in your next writing. And somebody else also suggested to highlight the culture, like reading out the Rabindranath Tagore's, all these inspirational people. This is too much to a little brain like you, but still, as you grow old, you can balance all these elements and aspects in your writing, and you can reflect these values in your words, right?
Yes, yeah.
So wishing you all the very best for your next book, and anything
Thank
else
you
you wanted to share with us today.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all the listeners on Telugu NRI Radio for listening to this interview. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you very much for having me here, Auntie. It's amazing to have my first experience like this, and I'm very privileged to be here. And also a huge thank you to my family and friends. So my mum, my dad, my brother, who've all helped with the creation of the book, and they supported me all throughout the 2 years of writing this book. I couldn't have done it without them. And also the friends who helped me with the proofreading as well. So a huge thank you to them as well.
Definitely. So when your next book releases, we'll bring you again here, so we can discuss more about the next book. And wishing you a great success in your writing, and as well as in your GCSEs, because I know you are good at sciences also, as you mentioned. Okay, apart from a writer, what do you want to be in life?
Apart from a writer, I'd say I may be looking into working in like the computer science industry, because at the moment the future is heading towards a fully technological future. Like everything's going to be technologically advanced. So to be able to grow with that future, you need to understand computer science. Well, that's my opinion. You need to understand computer science to move on forward, to be in with the times of technology. So I'd say that's probably where I'd be going. But I wouldn't mind working in the space industry as well. That's pretty interesting too.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice, very nice. Wishing you all the very best, whatever you want to achieve in your life.
Thank you very
get
much.
a lot of inspiration from your family, as you said earlier. Wishing you great success in your life. Thank you so much for being in our Telugu NRI Radio and giving you valuable time, valuable tips and techniques, and sharing your experiences with all of us. It was lovely having here.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me on here.
Thank you. Do take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్, విన్నారు కదా మరి ఇవాళ ఇంటర్వ్యూ వైభవ్ నీలా అని 14 ఏళ్ల పిల్లవాడు ఎంత చక్కగా తన లైఫ్ లో అనుకున్నది సాధించి చుట్టుపక్కల ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ హెల్ప్ తో పాటు తను లైఫ్ లో అచీవ్ చేయాలనుకున్నవన్నీ, రైటింగ్ కానీ లేకపోతే లైఫ్ లో ఏం చేయాలన్నా ఒక్కటే మంత్రం, లైఫ్ సూత్రం ఏంటి అంటే హార్డ్ వర్క్ అని చెప్తున్నాడు. ఇంత చిన్న వయసులో అంత పెద్ద మాట మాట్లాడి దాన్ని ఒక్క మాటలే కాదు చేతల్లో కూడా పెట్టి అది సక్సెస్ చేసి చూపించిన ఘనత మన వైభవ్ది. సో మరి ఇలాంటి వైభవ్లు చాలా మంది ఫ్యూచర్ లో రావాలి, ఎంతో మందిని ఇన్స్పైర్ చేయాలి. అండ్ విషింగ్ వైభవ్ ఎ వండర్ఫుల్ లైఫ్ అహెడ్ అని మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటూ ఇవాళ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇక్కడితో అయిపోయింది. మళ్ళీ నేను నెక్స్ట్ ఎప్పట్లానే వెన్స్డే మీ ముందుకు వస్తుంది మీ సిరి నాన్ స్టాప్ హంగామాలో. అంతవరకు సెలవు. టేక్ కేర్. విను